Yeah, you know what it is. Eskimo Dre, the coolest but the coldest that you know. Coming to steal the mother show. The frozen one, not the chosen one, and if the igloo too solid, then you know what's us. Hit that like, hit that share, subscribe to the channel, as I'm going to be dropping all kinds of cool, fresh, dope content for you guys. In today's video, I'm going to examine this viral top 25 list of rappers who quote unquote fell off. But before we get into that, we're going to look at the definition of falling off. In music, falling off is a term used to describe an artist that loses their creative and commercial peak. It can happen to anyone in any field. Some reasons why an artist may fall off might include losing inspiration, environment changes, overthinking instead of using instinct, losing interest, erratic behavior, and in some cases, legal troubles. Me personally, I think that if you have a solid fan base who will listen to your music, then you didn't completely fall off. If you're still touring, selling out shows, then you didn't completely fall off. I'm going to jump around a little bit with this list because everyone who's on it isn't exactly in the same boat. Now, I don't quite understand why artists like Gucci Mane and Lil Wayne are on this list simply because these two have had 20-year runs and have the most extensive catalogs to date. These two have reached heights, influenced today's culture, dropped more mixtapes, freestyles, and overall music than anyone in today's generation. Lil Wayne has been in the culture for 25 years, still relevant and in the GOAT conversation. Sounds like a full career to me. Gucci Mane, a pioneer of the trap, is also known for his influence in the culture and has helped many other Atlanta artists climb to the top. He's also started the first day out trend, which is popular in today's rap scene. Long story short, the influence and the fire catalog has made these two living legends. Whoever made this list hasn't considered the fact that Gucci Mane, Lil Wayne, and 2 Chainz are 40 plus years old. It's obvious they're past their prime based on their age. Did they fall off or did they just age out? Just like any sport, every athlete has to hang his jersey up at some point. But these three are still in this culture because they love it. Not because they need the fame, the money, etc. Plus they have rings whenever they retire. They've cemented their legacy already. Now artists like Polo G, G Herbo, 42 Doug, A Boogie, Lil TJ, Montana of 300, 504. And these are the right candidates for this list because they have a short buzz, maybe a few years max. They're starting to decline to the point where you don't currently hear about them as much as you did. I don't really need to go in detail with these artists because the general consensus would agree, in fact, that they did fall off. Meek Mill lost his buzz whenever the allegations came out about him being at Diddy's freak-off parties. Not only that, his last EP only sold 6K. Ew. ESTG lost his momentum whenever he was dropped from CMG. Haven't heard much from him. Everyone was waiting on Bobby Shmurda to come home from prison and do numbers, but instead he spent more time doing questionable things on cam instead of dropping music. Ice Spice had a huge buzz a few years ago, but as of recent, that buzz plummeted whenever her debut album, Y2K, only sold 20K the first week. People loved her for her curvy looks and was perceived to be gorgeous by the masses. But that all changed whenever she started losing weight and people started insinuating that she was on drugs. Now, I can understand why Cardi B is on this list simply because the majority of her current buzz comes from her toxic relationship with Offset. She may drop a freestyle here and there, but there's yet to be a project since 2018's invasion of privacy. The death of Takeoff has dramatically slowed down Quavo's career. With the third Migo being deceased, Quavo has struggled to stay as relevant as he was whenever the group was together. On paper, Gunna hasn't fallen off because of the numbers he put up whenever he drops. However, his plea in the YSL trial make him unfavorable in the eyes of most of the culture. Him being tagged a rat, a snitch, has definitely slowed up his career. Going into 2020, Roddy Ricch has had one of the biggest songs of the year, The Box. The song was so massive and set the bar so high to the point where people counted him out after he couldn't follow up with another one on his next project. The baby has had a slew of mishaps, violent incidents, and troubles in his career. His homophobic comments he made at Rolling Loud had him dropped from 5 festivals and damn near canceled from the industry. These things may have slowed up his career, and it makes sense as to why they would probably put him on this list. Now, Lil Uzi Vert is a little tricky because even though he hasn't had a hit since I Wanna Rock, which was a year and a half ago, he still has the fan base that allows him to debut at number 3 with his Eternal Take 2 album. Has he already reached the peak of his career? Yes. Has he completely fallen off? Nah, I don't think so. I don't think NBA YoungBoy has fallen off because he has a solid fan base that keeps his catalog alive. However, his legal troubles over the years has hindered him from reaching heights that he deserves to be at. And I'm going to play devil's advocate. He's independent and doesn't have the backing from a major label anymore. His last project only did 10K the first week, so I could also understand why he's on this list. Lil Baby has had an incredible run for a few years. He has created hits with his melodic and catchy style, which led to gold, platinum albums and songs. However, the general consensus agrees that he has fallen off because the people are simply tired of the same style that's been duplicated over and over and over. He's getting negative reviews from his latest album, Wham, because there's nothing different that he's bringing to the table or nothing special to look forward to that separates this project from the other ones. The creativity and the drive to do something different isn't there. Now, Moneybagg Yo and Kodak, I don't know. They're still household names that still have a fan base. They also have a plethora of gold and platinum hits. I don't understand why they are on this list because they have their set fan base and do numbers each time they drop. Matter of fact, they were just on tour and had a show together in my city. You know what I'm saying? Moneybagg is about to go on the last lap tour with Rod Wave sometime this month. Both Moneybagg and Kodak have hits for days and can drop another hit whenever they want to because the people are going to listen to them too regardless. We know this. I swear Vizzo's situation is tricky because he's an independent street rapper. You know what I'm saying? He's an independent. He's not even signed to a major label that he can be dropped or shelved from. He's always going to have his fan base because he correlates with the streets. I find this list pretty interesting to analyze simply because everyone on here hasn't fallen off. A good portion of this list contain artists who are still relevant in some form. Social media has a way of creating narratives that aren't necessarily 100% true. People tend to hang on to things and believe things, simply because it went viral. It's real common for people to go with any narrative without any type of knowledge of the subject. Luckily for me, I do my homework. I try to be objective as possible when it comes to topics involving music. Album sales, the demand for certain people, Billboard charting, who has hit records, great impact, has helped me gauge who has fallen off and who hasn't. Hit that like, hit that share, subscribe to the channel, and let me know what you think about this list down below. Gone.